Hey guys, today I'll be talking on Palo Alto Firewall. So Palo Alto Firewall is a next generation firewall and it has the architecture of SP3, which stands for single pass parallel processing. And this allows the firewall to simultaneously classify the traffic going through it. Palo Alto also uses a user ID and app ID engine that help the firewall recognize and detect the applications that are used in an organization. And it also provides the function of ATP, which stands for Advanced Threat Protection. For example, the Palo Alto can act as an IPS to prevent external threats, and it also provides DNS traffic protection. Okay, so this is how the setup for my Palo Alto Firewall is going to be. And inside this box, we have virtual interfaces which exist on just the VMware workstation alone. Here I have my management PC, my physical switch, and my home router. And the management PC and the physical switch access the internet through my default gateway, which is 192.168.0.1. My Palo Alto Firewall is going to have four interfaces: the management interface, the outside zone, the DMZ zone, and the inside zone. The management interface and my @1/1 outside zone interface belong to the same subnet and are on the same network with my default gateway, my home router. They are also bridged by the physical interface on the VMware workstation. My @1/2 is going to have a Kali Linux machine that I've set up, and I'll be testing connectivity from here. My @1/3 is going to be my DMZ zone, and for that I'll be using a Windows 7 PC, and in this my demo I'll also be testing the connectivity for it. Okay guys, next we have to go to the VMware workstation to start our configuration and setting up the Palo Alto Firewall. So we'll begin by importing the OVO file into VMware workstation. So I call the name of my virtual machine Palo Alto. And that's the folder it is going to be stored. Then I click on import. So it's importing right now, and I'll get back once the import is done. Our VM has been imported, and now click on edit virtual network settings. As you can see, it comes with two interfaces, and this is going to be our management interface and outside interface. But I want to add two more interfaces so it matches our diagram. So I click on add network adapter. I click on add again, another network adapter. Now we'll go into the virtual network settings for the VMware. So you can see on VMnet 3 and VMnet 4, I'll configure the static IP addresses and disable DHCP. This is going to be the inside zone and the DMZ. Then here we also have our auto bridging, which is this on the same network as our management interface and outside zone. They are on the same network with my router. So based on the custom set for VMnet 3, we select virtual adapter 3 and click on VMnet 3. The same with virtual adapter 4 and click on VMnet 4 and we'll click on OK. So now there are some settings that I need to change on the Palo Alto file because it downloaded an OVA file. So we have to make sure this settings matches the VDI image. Otherwise, the virtual machine won't boot. As you can see, the virtual device is set to VMnet 3. So we need to make sure the two adapters I just added matches this virtual device. So I copy. So I paste. And remember, we applied these settings to Ethernet 2 and Ethernet 3. Now we save the file and we exit again. Now we can launch our machine. So this is the Palo Alto setting up. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes to launch on the first time. And so I will pause the video here and I will come back once the Palo Alto Firewall has been set up. So we're set. This is our VM, and now we log in with the different credentials: admin as the username and admin as the password. So yeah, so right now we're in the command line interface of the Palo Alto virtual machine, and it has two interfaces known as the operational and configuration mode for the command line. So right now we're in the operational mode, as you can see with the greater than symbol. If we want to go into the configuration mode, we will type in the command configure and hit enter. So we use the command shown on the screen to set our default gateway, an IP address, and the netmask for the Palo Alto VM. And the Palo Alto will use commit to save our settings. As you can see, it's committing right now. And once this is done, the Palo Alto will have a static IP address, and we'll have the default gateway set to be my home router. So I exit the configuration mode back in the operational mode. So I try the command show system info to check the settings if they've been applied. Okay, as you can see now, Palo Alto machine has an IP address, a default gateway. So next we'll be trying the IP address if we can log in through a web interface. So I'll be going to my web browser now. So now my web browser, I type in the IP address of our Palo Alto VM, which is 192.168.0.30. Click on advanced, proceed. As you can see, this is the management interface for the Palo Alto, the web UI. So I enter the admin username and password to sign in. So we can also use the management interface as an alternative to the command line to manage our Palo Alto interface. So you log in, click on OK. And so this is the web UI, the web interface. I will log out now and configure my Kali Linux machine, which is my inside zone for this lab. Now on my Linux, I have to edit the setting to match the diagram. Since it's my inside zone, I'll give it the network adapter, a custom of VMnet 3 that I created earlier. So I select VMnet 3. So now I can power up my Kali virtual machine. Okay, and it's loading. While it's loading, I want to check on my Palo Alto Firewall just to see if that is still up. So it's still up. And now we're going back to my browser to log into my Palo Alto Web UI. Now I want to do some network configuration, and we can do that by clicking on the network tab above. So now we'll be configuring some zones. So we'll click on zones. Click on add. Now we're adding the outside zone, so I type outside. Leave the type on layer 3. I click on OK. We add the inside, type layer 3, OK. The DMZ, also layer 3, OK. Next, we configure the virtual route. So the virtual route is gonna make these interfaces communicate with each other. That's the purpose of the virtual route. So I call it VR1. Click on OK. So we're going to create two management profiles so we can manage the interfaces and ping the interfaces that we choose. So click on add and give it a name. And here I'll just be selecting a ping. Click on OK. I'll click on add again. Yeah, I'll give it a name. And for this interface, I will select the ping, HTTPS and SSH. For this profile, I select HTTPS, SSH, and ping. Click on OK. So now I'm going to tie all these interfaces together. So select the first one, which is Ethernet 1/1. And this is going to be for the outside zone. So select the layer 3 type. The virtual router is going to be VR1. And the security zone is going to be outside. I'll click on IPv4 to input the interface address. So this is going to be on the same network with my router. I input the IP address, which is 192.168.0.250/24. I click on the advanced tab, select the management profile. And for the outside zone, we're going to be selecting ping because we'll just be able to ping from the outside. And you click on OK. Then we'll go to Ethernet 1/2, which is for the inside interface. So select the interface type as layer 3. Our virtual router should be VR01, and the security zone is inside. IPv4. So we enter the address 10.3.3.254/24, and I will click on advanced. I will select the management profile, and it will be the second one, so we can manage the web UI from the inside zone. Click OK. Now we'll configure Ethernet 1/3, which is the DMZ. Select layer 3 type, VR1 as our router, and security zone DMZ. Also go for the IPv4. This is going to be 172.16.4.254/24. I'll click on advanced. I'll select the ping management profile because we'll just be testing the connectivity. Then click OK. So now we can see all our interfaces. The ETH1/1 is for the outside zone. The Ethernet 1/2 is for the inside, and the Ethernet 1/3 is for the DMZ. Now we can commit, so our changes can be saved. So this is the changes and certain configurations we made. They are saving to the firewall right now. So just be patient until it's committed. Okay, it's done, so we close. As you can see, the interfaces are up. So next will be configuring security and NAT policies. So for that, you have to click on policies at the top. NAT, see, already comes with 2 policies as default, but we're going to be editing our own policies. We go down, click on add. This is inside to outside. And the source should be inside zone. Destination is going to be outside zone. So we'll leave every other setting as default and click OK. Next, it's going to be outside to inside. The source is going to be from outside. Destination is going to be inside. Leave everything as default and we'll click OK. And the third is going to be from the inside to DMZ. The source is inside, destination is DMZ, everything as default. OK. Next is going to be the outside to DMZ, so click on add, outside to DMZ, source outside, destination DMZ. and click on OK. So this is just like a permissive policies, just to try out our firewall and test the connectivity on the firewall. I'll configure the NAT policy. I'll click on policies, NAT, add. The name is going to be outbound NAT. And the source is going to be from the inside zone and the DMZ, destined to the outside network, which is my home network. I'll also select the destination interface, which is going to be at 1/1. The translation type is going to be dynamic IP and port. Address type is going to be interface address, and interface is going to be at 1/1. And then the IP address of the outside interface as our IP address. And then we'll click on OK. So this is our NAT policy, sourcing from the inside zone and the DMZ, going to the outbound zone. Then we'll click on commit to save the changes. Okay, now that's done. So we'll go back to our Kali Linux for the next steps. Now back to my Linux machine. Remember, this is my inside zone, so I want to do the static network settings. So I put in the IP address to match my diagram. Click on manual, add. Then it's going to be 10.3.3.10, and the netmask is going to be 255.255.255.0, and the gateway is going to be that of our Ethernet 1/2 for the inside zone, which is 10.3.3.254. I also edit the DNS server settings. It's going to be Google's DNS servers, which is 8.8.8.8, and then I click on save. So now I just want to verify the network settings. So I'm going to open up a new terminal. Let me just increase the size here. Okay, so for Linux, you type in the ifconfig command, and you can see the static IP configurations have been set. So remember, on the inside zone, we'll configure the ping management profile and the web UI profile. So we're going to be trying out both, starting with the ping. So we'll try to ping the at 1/2 interface right now. So 10.3.3.254. As you can see, it's pinging, which means this is up and the connectivity is working. So hit Ctrl+C to stop that. And next, we're going to try it on the web UI. So we'll go to the Mozilla Firefox. So we want to be able to control the interface from our inside zone. So we input the HTTPS 192.168.0.30, the IP address of our Palo Alto virtual machine. Click on Advanced. We accept the risk and continue. The interface is up. I'm signing admin on the password admin. Click on OK. Don't save. So the web UI is loading. Here we can also manage the Palo Alto management interface from our inside zone. So this is it. So I log out, close, minimize. So this is it for our inside zone. We see that the connectivity is working and everything we set on our firewall is working. So next we'll be going to the DMZ. I have a Windows 7 virtual machine as my DMZ. So I'll go there to edit the settings and test our configuration from the DMZ.